What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Invest and Talk. I am Denny Chow, and today we're going to be going over the stock that I am buying right now. Before we begin, we just want to go over a couple things. Number one, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Number two, leave me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this content. And number three, this is only a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I am just stating my opinions and I'm backing it up with facts. All right, so what stock am I buying right now as we speak? And I don't want to leave any more guessing out there. The stock that I am looking to buy some more and I have bought in already is Boeing Company. Boeing Company, if you don't know, make our airplanes, make a majority of airplanes across the world. They not only are in the airplane business, but they're also in the space and they're also into the defense business. This company has a market cap of over $100 billion. They are a big company. If you don't know about them, you can just research them. Today, I'm going to break down two things. Number one, I'm going to go over the company and some reasons why I am buying the company. And number two, how am I buying in this company? Because a lot of people think you just press the buy button, but there's other strategies and other ways that you can get into a company without paying the price that it's asking. You can pay a price that you want. So we'll go over that right now. Let's start off by just stating some facts here. Right now that this is going to be unbiased as possible. We're going to start off with the cons this time. Some cons of the stock is that this stock used to give you a 4.3% dividend yield on average, about 2 to 3% annually. Right now they have cut all dividends, so there is no dividends to the stock. Number two, they're not expecting to even have any earnings. That means profits until quarter one of 2021. We also know that the 737 MAX have all been grounded, waiting for FAA to go over it and approve it so they can continue producing or continue those flights that are on 737 to go in air and so people can start using it. Another reason is negative cash flow until 2020, quarter four. And this is expected because the cash flow is really generated when people buy stuff and they pay you back, accounts receivable and stuff like that. Right now, I don't think they're selling many airplanes, so that cash flow is going to be negative or zero until 2020 and quarter four. All right, and this is right here. What I just presented to you is the earnings report that just came out a couple months ago on Boeing. Boeing had a presentation and some of the business environment that they went over that we just want to quickly touch is a couple of key points. COVID-19 created unprecedented shock in the demand of air travel. We know that. Taking action to adjust new market realities. Access to liquidity important for the industry, bridge to recovery. Over the long term, expect commercial aviation to revert to growth trend. Stable global demand for our defense and space programs, including services. And right here, it is Delta Airlines. So what I wanted to do is figure out what are the airlines doing and what are they reporting and what do they see in the future. This is Delta Airlines earnings report that just came out a couple of days ago. Their CEO is Edward Bastian. And I just want to go over, highlighted something that I saw that was kind of interesting that these companies right now are thinking and what they perceive to be in the future. The highlighted area quotes, "We believe that it could be up to 3 years before we see a sustainable recovery." So there you go. Edward Bastian, the CEO of Delta Airlines, is expecting a 3-year span until the recovery, until we're back in 2019 where people are flying again. So you're asking yourself all these questions on these negatives. Denny, why are you buying Boeing when there's so many things against them? Well, I'll go over that right now. And today we're going to talk about the Boeing's segments. So not only do Boeing sell airplanes, they have other industries that they are a part of too, and we'll go over it. First is going to be the commercial airlines. I already know about the 737 MAX. They also have a 767, 77X, all these sevens, but you get the idea. There's a couple other ones that are down there that I didn't screenshot. But right here alone, that they're not just selling one type of airplanes. In a commercial airline, they're selling plentiful airplanes. Not only that, they have services and support that they're generating revenue from. Another segment of Boeing is their defense. If you don't know about the defense, we're talking about military. Anything that is protecting our country or any other countries that have a military that are into aircrafts, which everybody has an Air Force. Some of these things are the autonomous systems. They have helicopters, defense, so forth. They have services out there. They have missiles. This is another segment of Boeing Airlines that a lot of people don't think about, and they're just thinking about the commercial side, which they generate a lot of revenue coming from this defense side. And lastly, one of the segments that is most profound to me that is innovation for the next generation is that Boeing is in the space industry. They have satellites orbiting around the world, international space stations. They have space launch stations, gateways, you name it. They just have all these space stations, and they have innovation. They have working contracts with NASA. They got people outer space. They are in this industry not only for those commercial airlines or the defense, they're also in the space industry. And we just know that with Tesla's SpaceX, they just launched into orbit a couple of months ago. So those are the things that I'm interested in, because Boeing is not just limited to commercial airlines. They have segments in defense. They also have segment in the space industry. So while right now we're in this recovery with the airlines, I understand that it's going to take some time, but most of the news is already out, and Boeing is going to continue to grow because the defense, people are going to have military artilleries, military aircrafts that needs buildings, and they're going to trust, especially the U.S. government, are going to go no other place but Boeing. There is not another person out there unless it's Airbus, which is in the EU. Other than that, there is nobody else that's going to produce a quality production like Boeing. Easing on what's going on, Boeing just raised a monster $25 billion bond offering, which just added to their balance sheet. Now, instead of going out and seeking help from financial aid through the Federal Reserve, they just sold bonds themselves. They're not looking for help. They have the means to pay these people back. These are long-term bonds, so they have a little time to pay them back, but they're cash heavy right now. They have enough cash to go over this corona pandemic. If we look here on the balance sheet, this is going back to 2019. We can look at the cash and cash equivalents and short-term investments. They have over $10 billion starting the year of 2020. And also they have a total receivable. Total receivables are money that they're expecting to get within a year. They have over $12.4 billion. And if you add the bonds and you add these up right here, that's over $47 billion of cash just sitting there for this company to use just in case of anything that happens. Some other good news out there that Boeing lands a $1.2 billion deal for 8 F-15EX fighter jets with the United States Air Force. This is a huge deal. Right now, people are signing contracts with Boeing for future dates that they're gonna want planes, want jets, stuff like that. Another thing that just happened is with the U.S. Navy. Boeing receives a $1 billion P-8A Poseidon contract. This is another $1.5 billion. Both of them combined is a $3 billion contract that they just signed. So right now, these contracts are adding up. So they already have an idea as far as the defense side that they're looking at people wanting to expand, especially the military. As we heard from the CEO of Delta, they're looking that it's going to take 3 years for it to get back to 2019's production. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to order planes, because planes depreciate. Planes, they don't just pay them at once. They place orders and it takes months and months to make. So we'll be looking out for that. At the same time, if we see the chart right here, you can see that this stock used to be a $400 something stock at its peak last year. Right now it's trading about 170-ish, 180. Just a couple of weeks ago, it smashed up all the way to the $240. That's because of their contract. People were excited about it. But this company has so much room to grow. And not only that, this is a sustainable company with not a lot of competition out there that is heavy cash. That means they're going to make it through this pandemic. They didn't even reach out to the Federal Reserve to have any type of help, no PPP loan, nothing like that. They were just willing to do it themselves. They still are having trouble with the 737, but once that gets off and they make it, that's just going to be production out there that they're going to be making revenue on. All right, guys. So now that I told you the reason why I'm buying Boeing and why I like it, I see huge potential in it with little downside. This stock used to be $400 something and it's only at 170 right now. So how am I buying this? So most of the time, most people would just hit the bid and they'll just buy into the stock. Well, being in the market for a while, and I also trade stocks, as an investor, I'm looking at the best and most prudent way to get in. So I'm using options this time to get into the position. All right. So I sold the July 31st put options at 170. I sold this a couple of days ago for $9.10. That means that I'm receiving $910 for these contracts. As long as the stock does not go below 170 by July 31st, I pocket $910. But if the stock goes below 170, I get to purchase 100 shares of this stock at 170, plus I keep the $910. So essentially, I bought this stock around $161. And that is how I am legging myself into this position, which me personally, I don't think it will hit 170 because I just see upside from here. I actually went and bought a couple of shares. I managed 4 other accounts. Each account I had bought 25 shares of Boeing today as it was dropping. And I still have those options buy 100 shares at 170, which I've gained $900 already just holding it. So within the less than a month, if the stock does nothing, nothing happens to my $25 or 25 shares that I bought of Boeing, and I will receive $900 in each account for just holding it. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I just want to give you guys an idea of what I'm buying and hold me accountable for the stocks that I'm telling you to buy. Number 1, we mentioned CGC not so long ago. It's pretty much up from the time I mentioned it. And now I'm talking about Boeing. It is July 16, 2020. I'm not saying it's just going to bazoom up from here. Yeah, it'll probably go down a little bit, up a little bit. 6 months to 1 year, this stock is going to make you money. There is no dividends, that is the downside, but we're playing the options, so we're making money as we wait for this stock. Again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, and always have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys next time.